DAF Media is proud to present the 2021 Darien Memorial Day Parade live from beautiful downtown Darien along Post Road. Welcome in to our parade coverage this year. I am Damian Andrew. So glad you could be with us. Joining me this morning on our Darien Memorial Day Parade live stream broadcast is John Cini, Darien Public Schools Board of Ed member, former planning and zoning chair here in the town of Darien, and longtime resident of Darien. And John, I know you and I have been talking throughout the year, looking forward to this day, and after last year not having a Memorial Day Parade because of the COVID-19 pandemic, it is certainly nice to be outside along Post Road here, seeing all the spectators and Darien residents along the parade route and partaking in this event, which has become really an iconic event through the years here in this beautiful town of Darien.
Absolutely, Damien, and good morning to you and everybody else out there. You can tell we're down by the library in front of Nielsen's Florist across from the Gardner Center. And I think in the, 3 or 4 years that we've been doing this, Damien, this is by far the most people we've ever seen along this section of the parade route, at least.
I think you're absolutely right. I think it's a great number of people along the parade route. And as you mentioned, we are in front of Nielsen's Florist and very close to the Darien Library. I want to thank the library for giving us our internet connection here, John, this morning, as the parade is just about, we're getting closer to the viewing stand. We're very close to the viewing stand here in front of Nielsen's Florist.
So, Damien, last year we were able to broadcast a live ceremony from the Veterans Cemetery right next to Spring Grove, and although it was abbreviated, it was a really special moment, I think, in the town's history while we dealt with the pandemic. But I can certainly tell you there's a little more celebratory feeling in the air today. And on this very important holiday, I think everybody's come out to see it. What we also missed in 2020 was the town's Bicentennial.
Great point.
It was its 200th anniversary last year, but you can be sure that the belated celebrations are going to now occur in 2021. They're going to do a Bicentennial Bash at Wee Beach on June 4th, the Anniversary Day ceremony on June 12th, and then a Heritage Day on October 23rd, which is going to take place at 3 sites: the Museum of Darien, the First Congregational Church of Darien, and the Mather Homestead up in northern Darien. So I know everybody in this community is excited to be able to gather and celebrate. It's very memorable 200th anniversary.
And the plan is, as of right this moment, to broadcast that June 4th Bicentennial Bash on DAF Media. So that should be exciting.
Pretty awesome.
And, big year, as you mentioned. And just it's great to see everybody, as you alluded to at the outset, just simply because this is such a special day. And also, it has been such a difficult year for so many. The last year, it's great to see all these people out here partaking in today's parade.
And it's dry today.
It's dry.
And we've seen glimpses of the sun. Hopefully it will get nicer as the day goes better, as we've been battling a major northeaster all weekend.
Yep, absolutely.
So just getting to today, sometime around 11 a.m., we're going to see a flyover by a C-130 of the Connecticut National Guard's 103rd Airlift Wing, otherwise known as the Flying Yankees. The plane's conducting flyovers throughout the state in order to honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice. So hopefully we'll be able to get a shot as it comes down the Post Road. And, I do want to reflect on that ceremony briefly. The Monuments and Ceremonies Commission encourages everybody here to join the ceremony at the Veterans Ceremony at the 15 minutes after the parade concludes. Typically runs about 30 minutes, and it will include an invocation by Reverend Gary Morello of the Norton Presbyterian Church, singing of the national anthem by the Tudor Singers, Darien resident and U.S. Army National Guard Major Sherrod Sammy will deliver the keynote speech, followed by the special guest speaker, the United States Senator Chris Murphy. Then Darien's first selectman, Jamie Stevenson, will read the names of the 92 servicemen who lost their lives in defense of our country and all of America's conflicts, starting actually with the Civil War. There's an honor guard unit from VFW Post 6933, discharging 3 volleys to salute their fallen comrades. And there's an echo taps playing and a concluding prayer. This whole day is basically a throwback, if you will. And Damien, we're starting to see the Darien Police Color Guard come our way. This year marks a really momentous occasion for the Darien Police Department. Chief Don Anderson and past and present officers put out candles to mark the 40th anniversary of the slaying of Officer Kenny Bateman. He was killed while responding to a burglary at Duchess Restaurant in 1981. So they illuminated those 40 candles in his honor.
The Grand Marshal of the parade this year, Pete Kenyon. And Pete served aboard the destroyer USS Bowsel in the Pacific from 1963 to 1966. He is the Grand Marshal of the Darien Memorial Day Parade. And some of the dignitaries.
We have First Selectman Jamie Stevenson, Selectman Kip Coons, Krista McNamara, Selectman David Martin, Selectman Sarah Newman. I believe I see our state representatives, District 141, Terry Wood, Matt Blumenthal, and Patricia Billy Miller walking by right now, too.
And here comes the Darien High School marching band. They just put on a big outdoor concert at the high school, John, in the courtyard of Darien High School. It's kind of a natural amphitheater. It's great to see them here participating in the Darien Memorial Day Parade for 2021. The band is led by Mr. Jonathan Grauer. Does a terrific job with the Blue Wave Marching Band.
Yeah, things are getting back to normal a bit in the school district these days, Damien. You know, they've started allowing spectators at sporting events and other extracurriculars, doing mostly outside, but kids have been back in school since early March, and we've gotten through this as a community.
The Darien High School Blue Wave Band.
So right behind them, we got the Veterans of Foreign Wars, Post 6933. It's a VFW color guard led by Brian O'Malley, U.S. Army, who served in both Iraq and Afghanistan. The color guard will perform the rifle volley at the following ceremony. And right after them, we have the Connecticut National Guard. First Sergeant Lazonia Jones is leading the members of Company A, 192nd Engineer Battalion, riding in 2 Humvees. The COVID restrictions have precluded a marching unit amongst our armed forces this year. This outfit served in Afghanistan, and the men and women are experienced, tested leaders who are experts in all their fields. The Connecticut Engineers are known as, and they provide relief efforts right here at home as well.
And we are now looking at one of the great organizations, John Cini, in the town of Darien, Darien EMS Post 53, serving Darien for the past 51 years.
Yeah, I'm a little biased on this because my youngest, Jake, served in Post 53 as a freshman. You said 51 years. Basically, they've been, it's a all-volunteer service. Their vehicles are all generously donated by members of the community. They're on 24/7. They do over 1,600 calls a year. The first 2 lines that passed us were the current and former post officers dressed in all white. As they passed under the railroad bridge a few moments ago, they passed the flags to the new officers. Another year begins in their journey. Congrats to Ethan Gupta, who was elected president after taking over for Thomas Ostenberg, who was president last year.
We are live here along Post Road in Darien, Connecticut for the 2021 Darien Memorial Day Parade. We are in front of Nielsen's Florist, and we are about to see the Museum of Darien.
So this was formerly known as the Historical Society in town. The organization recently changed its name to better reflect its mission. Basically, the supporters of the museum take us down memory lane with their classic cars today, a 1953 Packard Caribbean and a candy red Corvette convertible. The museum is telling Darien's story. I think it's really important a year like this of the Bicentennial.
Absolutely.
And they welcome all ages to experience and discover their objects, their narratives, their work of art that has shaped this community. From its humble beginnings as Middlesex Parish before it became Darien 201 years ago.
And John, we are about to see a oversized birthday cake, Bicentennial birthday cake. Happy birthday, Darien. This is a great float right here.
I just wanted to also call out the wife's chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution that passed us as part of that. But the Bicentennial Committee and its student docents are marching alongside this 3-tier birthday cake float, which is donated to Darien by the town of Salem, Connecticut. Our town's 200th birthday was, like I said, in 2020, but the celebrations are all going to take place this year.
Damian Andrew, John Cini joining you for this live stream broadcast of the 2021 Darien Memorial Day Parade. Of course, there was no parade last year because of the pandemic, and as John has mentioned a couple times already on our broadcast, it is great to see so many people out here along Post Road watching the parade as it makes its route from Goodwives Shopping Center all the way to Spring Grove Cemetery.
The next group up is the YWCA of Darien and Norwalk, and this group is dedicated to eliminating racism, empowering women, and promoting peace, justice, and freedom, and dignity for all. They have a number of various social and mission-driven clubs and events, and it offers the opportunities for women to connect, network, and basically supporting everyone at every age of stage of their life. I think a lot of our residents are familiar with toddler time drop-off as they enter town.
Want to thank everybody for watching this live stream as we take a look at Ivanhoe Lodge 107 Connecticut Freemasons as they pass by.
The Darien Masons support various charitable and volunteer activities, including Wreaths Across America, the Salvation Army, Person to Person, Darien Little League, and others.
Pivot Ministries strolling by along the parade route now. While we have a quick moment, I want to give a shout out to our DAF Media production crew, all student volunteers running graphics for us this morning. Braden Shank, Teddy Callery. Our director is Thomas Kiernan, a 4-year member of DAF Media. And on our main camera is Charlotte Marr.
We have Darien Chamber of Commerce and the Community Fund of Darien passing us in front of us. The Chamber of Commerce had an antique auto, a 1957 Chevy 3100 pickup truck. Comprised of local merchants. The Chamber funds 4 scholarships to local students each year through member contributions. And they also host a wonderful wine and food tasting event, sometimes held in the Nielsen's greenhouse.
And the Community Fund of Darien, led by a 1992 Alfa Romeo Spider. Great car.
Yes, it is.
And since 1951, the Community Fund of Darien's vision is for all community members to have the opportunity to reach their full potential as healthy, educated, and self-sufficient individuals. The Darien Men's Association, John, now passing by here in front of our viewing stand.
Another neat car, 1964 Corvette Stingray,
Yep.
2002 Mercedes-Benz, and a 26 BMW M3. Founded in 1977, the Men's Association is dedicated to good fellowship, community service, and fun amidst a range of activities designed to nourish both the body and the mind. They also, these gentlemen are great at promoting a sense of community within this town. Membership is open to all men above 50. I'm getting there, Damien.
Me too.
You
and me both.
Within shouting distance.
We're both within shouting distance.
While we have a break, Damien, I just wanted to shout out somebody who's important to this town who's going to be moving on to a different role, and that was Susan Schultz, the editor of the Darien Times. She's been a part of this community for well over a decade and was a big part of making the paper what it was or what it is today. So we had Friday was proclaimed Susan Schultz Day to kick off the weekend by Jamie Stevenson, and she means a lot to the community, and we wish her well in her new role at Hearst.
As someone who spent 25 years in broadcast news, Susan will certainly be missed here in the town of Darien, has done so much for the community, kind of serving as its eyes and ears. She has really built up the Darien Times over the years. I've gotten to know her a little bit in my role as advisor here for DAF Media over the past 4 years. When I was at News 12, did not know her as much, but she is a wealth of knowledge, great person, and certainly to echo your sentiments, John, we wish her all the best in her new role.
And she put together the Memorial Day special section each year.
Yep.
If you don't have a hard copy, I encourage folks to bring it up online. It's a really, really special publication, and really reflects, again, on what this day is all about. And year in and year out, people definitely look forward to that section.
As I was driving in today, I do not live in Darien. I live in New York State, but I have worked in Darien for almost 15 years now.
We'll get you here one day, Darien.
In southwestern Connecticut. But I was thinking about the broadcast, thinking about the parade, John, thinking about doing the parade with you, thinking about the last year, and thinking about Memorial Day. And obviously people want to think about fun and barbecues and cookouts and maybe a baseball game or this or that. But to your point, it is really so much more than that. It is a somber day, a day of reflection and a day to honor all those who have served this great country of ours and have paid made the ultimate sacrifice and have lost their lives serving our country, and that's what this day is all about.
Yeah, and we have to also call out Terry Gaffney, the chairman of the Monuments and Ceremonies Commission here in Darien. He does such a wonderful job preparing us for all these comments and the line of march, if you will, and some of this commentary. But beyond that, the ceremony afterwards, which is going to be rebroadcast on TV 79 and will be part of this replay. In the future. That's a really special ceremony. It's 30 minutes of everyone's time, but so much goes into it, and what's discussed and those that are remembered is so powerful.
Well, and it's you mentioned your notes and Terry and helping us. In full disclosure, I serve as the advisor for DAF Media, and we do about 115 broadcasts a year, a number of high school sporting events, concerts, obviously the Memorial Day Parade. We do a number of community events, And so John and Terry have really been doing a lot of the legwork on some of the research for this parade broadcast, and can't thank both of them enough. As approaching here our viewing sit-in, the Fairfield County Police pipes and drums on this Memorial Day 2021.
And we forgot we were discussing as a power squadron went by earlier.
Yes.
It was a Ford pickup pulling a 20-foot boat, but Darien Sail and Power Squadron is dedicated to fun on the water. One of their monumental events is taking 100 inner-city kids out for a fun day on the water on a number of volunteers' boats. And, you know, I've seen them. I haven't yet participated. It's an awesome sight, seeing all these kids in bright yellow and orange life preservers enjoying the water here in Darien.
I remember we've talked about that in the past. That is very cool. I mentioned the pipes and drums. Fairfield County Police Pipes and Drums, ranked one of the top bagpipe bands in the region. This group, comprised of current and retired police officers, they are proud and honored to march with the Darien Fire Department.
So the Darien Fire Department, I'm going to get this in before the sirens come through, is the first of 3 of our all-volunteer fire departments, and we're one of very few towns left in Connecticut with a full all-volunteer first responders, if you will, between EMS and the 3 fire departments. Well, today, Darien's fire department's led by Chief Vic Penziero. This department was organized July 31st, 1895 by 26 Darien men. It was the original firehouse, the size of a 2-car garage on Center Street and Post Road. It's pretty interesting. The lamp from their first fire apparatus is still in working condition and hangs on the wall of the firehouse. They have 10 pieces of equipment, including the 1928 Aaron's Fox, which entered service in Darien in 1932 and now is one of the town's most interesting fire apparatus showpieces. That clutch has probably seen a few years.
Yeah, what the sirens, the lights.
Throughout the early days of the COVID pandemic, in order to call honor to our first responders, the fire departments would run around Friday evenings with their lights and sirens blaring, basically during the lockdown days. And people would come out and cheer them on, and it was a great moment in this town, during difficult times, to kind of come out and wave to these folks who were really putting themselves out there. And Post 53 got involved, and it was, everybody would come out of their houses and wave.
And you certainly saw that in towns, John, across America during the very beginning of the pandemic, as people were looking for something. John, as I look around, you are absolutely right. I was looking at my notes earlier, and my head wasn't up looking around, but the amount of people out here for this parade is just really incredible to see.
Yeah, we're kind of off at the end, Damien. I can't imagine what downtown looks like right now. Remember, we're just west of the I-95 overpass and the heart of downtown.
You hear those sirens, those big red trucks.
Yeah, I'll tell a story that while we have, again, a little time between some of our parade route, and that Darien high school football team was able to conduct their car wash again for the first time in a year. And it was so popular, we didn't have enough water pressure coming from the high school. So we
so the fire department.
Yeah, we got the Norotan Heights Fire Department to bring over one of their tanker trucks. We went through 2,500 gallons in about 6 hours with them, providing some of the water as well. So
that was just recently, right? The car, and the weather was okay?
Absolutely brilliant. It was like a perfect day.
I know in the past the weather has not always cooperated. Of course, it is a car wash.
2019, I think we had a couple snowflakes fly amongst the raindrops. But again, it's just another way that this, in a small manner, that this community is able to pull together.
Yeah.
And that's why we love the town so much over the 21 years we've been here.
Yeah, you and your lovely wife Michelle have raised your 3 boys here in Darien. You said 21 years. You both, Michelle did not grow up here. You did not grow up here, but this is home now, and it is a beautiful home at that. A great community. As I mentioned, certainly a community that I've been worked in and around for many years. It's special.
Yeah, it has got a deep history, which we'll learn more and more about throughout this Bicentennial celebration. But, you know, we have resources that are part of the history, like the Mather Homestead, you know, in which, you know, events happened. And Reverend Moses Mather and the upheaval that was created there with the Redcoats. And ironically, I come from an area that was very deep-rooted in revolutionary history as well, with the Culper Spy Ring over in the Port Jefferson area.
Port Jefferson, yeah.
So
yeah.
it's neat to kind of see the other side of the sound and raise my children here.
John is a Long Island native. We just saw the Harney Pender Katie Irish Arts Foundation dancers.
And then the Girl Scouts are in front of us now. The Darien Service Unit has 200+ local scouts from kindergartners through 12th graders. They're in a variety of service-related activities through the year, including huge Thanksgiving food drive with Palmer's for person-to-person. The Girl Scouts have a legacy of girls of courage, confidence, and character who make the world a better place. Today, the marchers are contingents from Troop 50256, led by Marcy Minnick, 50284, led by Meredith Gray, and Troop 50312, led by Tina Bowman. Troops 50326 and 27 are led by Megan Kilcourse, and Troop 50215, led by Vaso Spanos, and Troops 50470 and 50214, led by Jolene Langer. Scout Noah Doucher-Pune, sorry if I butchered your name, has been selected to recite the Gettysburg Address at the Veterans Ceremony. Noah is a junior Girl Scout, 5th grade at Royal Elementary School. Has been active in the Girl Scouts since kindergarten.
And that's a huge honor for Noah, so congrats to her.
And then we have the Cub Scouts, the first step in the BSA scouting program, formerly known as the Boy Scouts of America. Cub Scouts welcome all kids, both boys and girls, from grades kindergarten through 5th for adventures like family camping, rocket launches, one of my favorites, community service, civic mindedness, and outdoor games and activities. Each of Darien's 4 grade schools, I think there's 5 actually grade schools, has a Cub Scout pack. So you got Ox Ridge, Royal, Holmes, and Hindley. So we are missing one, I guess, I think. Tokenie, maybe. And then Scouts BSA Troops 35 and 53. They have a long history in Darien, dating back to the 1920s. Our program's first Eagle Scout was earned by Irving Skelton in 1928. Since then, Troops 35 and 53 have produced another 369 Eagle Scouts. The scouting program provides values-based youth development programs for young people that build character. Troop 35 is led by Scoutmasters Sabina Harris and Craig Shore. 53 is led by Grant Evans. And then a first Scouts BSA Troop 219, established in February 2019 with 6 founding Scouts. Troop 219 is the first BSA troop for girls in Darien. It's now 16 young women. Darien will recognize its first female Eagle Scout from Troop 219 in September. Scoutmaster Susie Flaherty leads that troop. And we saw the green team go by.
Yep.
And then here's the New York State Court Officers in Pipes and Drums, led by Drum Major Dan McWhinney, and sponsored by the Norton Fire Department. It's recognized as one of the best bagpipe and drum corps in the Northeast. These guys have been marching for over 40 years. And here we have Terry Gaffney.
Yeah, I was just going to say, there's our friend Terry Gaffney.
Done a wonderful job preparing us. I'll just say it again and again. So now it's our second of the 3 fire departments. We have the Norotan Fire Department, led by Chief Brendan Keene. This company's been protecting our community since its founding in 1896, before moving to the current location in 1952. They used to be located at Darien Book Aid building, catty corner to where they're located now. Its fleet includes 8 vehicles, including its 1972 Maxim semi-open cab design pumper known as the Yellowbird. It's the only active truck of its kind in Connecticut right now. It steps into service when one of their pumpers goes offline. And they also have Unit 34, which is a marine unit that protects boaters along the coastline of Long Island Sound. They're going to have a couple of Joe Warren's world-famous chili dogs after this, and it's their barbecue's open to everybody. And you'll notice that Yellowbird also carries a very special person around the holidays as well.
I'm still thinking about the chili dogs, John. I'm not going to lie to you. As I think about my family's Memorial Day barbecue later today. There is the Yellowbird as it strolls by. Again, John, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention our student volunteers involved, members of DAF Media do a tremendous job throughout the academic school year. Our running graphics today, Teddy Callery, Braden Schenk. Our director is Thomas Kiernan, one of 2 4-year members of DAF Media. He'll be graduating Darien High School this spring, heading off to Colby. And on camera is another Darien High School senior, Charlotte Marr, who has been actively involved in DAF Media. 4th year of DAF Media, John. Hard to believe.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you could say a couple more words about DAF Media and where it came from and the joint venture partners.
So it's a joint venture between the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation, 2 nonprofits here in Darien who have just done unbelievable work over the last, decade plus. The Darien Foundation's been around for 20 years. The Darien Athletic Foundation about 10 years, coming up on its 10-year anniversary. But we started DAF Media about 4 years ago, and it was really the brainchild of a number of people, including Mark Maybell, Jen Montanaro, and of course Bruce Ferguson has been heavily involved.
The man behind the scenes.
The man behind the scenes. He's all the technology. John, you know 2 of John's sons have been involved in DAF Media, and a lot goes into it. It is a live streaming broadcast organization, and all done by student volunteers. Will be on the cameras, direct, do graphics, whatever it takes to put on a full service, a full-scale production.
Oh, and if you haven't seen it, folks, log in and watch some of our sporting events or other intramural events that these guys put together. I mean, just an awesome, awesome job. And as somebody, I think Mr. Maybell described to me, he wants it to become Darien's PBS.
PBS, yeah. That's
So passing by us were the Darien Democrats. They're led by the chair, David Bain, Vice Chair Ann Reed, Frank Edelman, and their honored guest, former Darien Selectman Barbara Thorne. Barbara is the wife of the late Mark Thorne, who was also extremely active in this community before his passing in 2019. Darien Democrats are marching in honor of the sacrifices made by servicemen and women in defense of our country and to give thanks for their families. And right behind them, we got the Darien Republicans. The Darien Republicans are led by members of the Republican Town Committee, including the chairman, Alex Davidson, and vice chairs, Chris Taylor, and several of the town's Republican leaders. Last year, Darien Republican Town Committee members Jim DeMark and John King led an effort to pump up the fundraising for Wreaths Across America at the Veterans Ceremony, where the ceremony is going to be cemetery, where the ceremony is this afternoon. Thanks to their efforts, for the first time in several years, each and every veteran headstone in town was adorned with a beautiful wreath during the holidays. And I'll tell you, it's such a fitting tribute over the holidays to see that that cemetery with all the wreaths.
Oh, no doubt.
It's moving. It really is.
And absolutely. You and I did that service this year, this past December, the Wreaths Across America service at Spring Grove. And definitely makes you think,
So we had At Home in Darien pass us. It's a nonprofit organization that helps Darien senior citizens live independently and comfortably with the dignity in our community. Really gives back to all those who gave so much to our community over the years.
Yep. Atria Senior Living in Darien.
And we have Joe Pankowski with his wife Annie. They're representing the. I lost my note. Actually, I recognize them. I just forgot who they're representing. Oh, Senior Activities Center. Joe's the Commissioner on Aging chair, along with his wife Annie. I said they're in the truck. They're 1930 Model A pickup truck. The Model A was the first vehicle with standard stick shift transmission. Its engine is all of 40 horsepower, Damien. Joe says it rides best at 35, and he drives it. I've seen him all over town during the year. The senior center, known as Mather Center, is located at Darien Town Hall, and its mission is to nurture the physical, intellectual, and social well-being in the senior community. Those are 55 and older, by providing some great programs and services. These are the Milford Volunteers. Also, I remember that gun, even as when I had my little kids there trying to cover their ears back in the day. But these guys have been every year since. I'm sorry, it's old timers. I'm sorry.
1951.
Yeah, 1951. Yep. They're sponsored by the Norton Heights Fire Department, so they're garbed in uniform. The hunter green vests, white shirts, and the knickers. Their clothing worn during the Revolutionary War era.
And here is the Norton Heights Fire Department.
Yeah, so this is led by Chief Zach McEwen. Norton Heights is the third volunteer department. And all these departments, of course, work together, mutual aid between themselves and other communities. These guys have 8, and women have 8 pieces of equipment in the parade this morning.
I was just talking to Terry Gaffney, who we've mentioned a couple times on our broadcast. He is the chairman of the Darien Memorial Day Parade. And, John, as you've mentioned a couple of times, he wants us to mention it a couple more times to check out or come by the Spring Grove Cemetery for the ceremony, which will immediately follow the parade. And that ceremony is being recorded by TV 79, and it will be on their channel and also be on our YouTube channel.
So, Damien, I think the Norton Heights Fire Department is taking the tail end of this parade to a close.
And I just want to mention, John, and you can chime in too, the Grand Marshal again, Pete Kenyon, who served aboard the destroyer USS Balsall in the Pacific from 1963 to 66. He qualified as a service warfare officer, command duty officer, tactical action officer, officer of the deck, and combat information watch officer. His assignments including electronics officer, intelligence officer, administrative officer. After active duty, Pete served in the Navy Reserve from 1966 to 1985, mainly in convoy duty units and with 3 short tours on reserve destroyers and a final tour on the Naval War.
We have 2 mics.
The Naval War. And I too lost my notes. John, we're going to welcome in a couple of people here.
Just bear with us one moment. Okay. Okay, so first guest is Matt Blumenthal, our state senator here.
State representative. Good to be here with you today.
I'm sorry. We're on the fly here. I'm off my notes.
No,
thanks for coming by, Matt. And maybe just talk about your history and why this day means a lot to you.
Sure. So before I was a state representative, before I was a lawyer, I was an infantry officer in the United States Marine Corps, and serving in the reserves and serving in Afghanistan. Made this day very meaningful to me. It's really important to remember the sacrifices that our service members have made, both here and abroad, and to remember those we've lost in battle today, especially. And so it's great to be here in Darien, where this parade is always, and the ceremony is always such an important part of the community coming together, especially as we're trying to kind of close out this COVID-19 pandemic. It's a really terrific sense of community today.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know you guys are making your way to that ceremony. It is a special ceremony. So thank you very much, Matt, for joining us. And I think now we have State Senator Patricia Billy Miller joining us.
Thanks, Matt.
Well, thanks for... That's okay.
There you go.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep, I can. If I get the hair out, my face real good.
I'm sorry to catch you off guard.
No, that's okay.
We're welcoming you to DAF Media, and we would just like you to talk about what this day means to you, Patricia Billy Miller.
So this day is very important to me. My dad fought in the Korean War, and he sacrificed his life, as well as some of my other friends, just to sacrifice their lives for our freedom. And so this day always reminds me that the freedom that I experienced and that we all experience came with a price and a cost. And so for those that have given their lives and to their families, I want to say thank you. For those that are serving our country, I want to say thank you to them as well. This is the first time that I've represented Darien, and this is my first parade, and it's great. I have to admit, you guys beat Stanford. Don't tell them I said that. But it is a great experience, and just to see how the community here do remember our fallen soldiers.
Yeah, we were talking, it's probably one of the biggest turnouts we've ever had, and probably, in regards to the nicer weather we finally got this weekend for this, and just the COVID pandemic and that. And so I definitely want to thank you, your family, for giving so much, and for you being here with us today.
Well, thank you, and it's a pleasure to be here, and thank you for having me.
And I think our last guest is going to be State Representative Terry Wood. You need help, Terry?
Got it.
You all good?
Yep, good.
So, Terry, we've seen you here as well a few times.
Yes.
And I know you're headed over to the ceremony as well, but maybe you could talk about this day and reflect on how many people you saw today and also what this day means to you.
Yeah, thank you, John, and thank you to you all for doing this, because it's such a great way to cover this event and the power of this event. And I think today was such a great opportunity because tons of people were out and the music was playing, and I think there was a jubilation that we have come out of a tremendous pandemic, and this is one of the opportunities we have every year to honor our veterans, and our veterans are the ones that preserve our freedoms. I mean, I think we all need to keep that in mind, and we're so grateful for everything they do, the sacrifices. My husband served, my uncle served, many and all of our families served, and this is a wonderful day of celebration, and the crowds were great, and the enthusiasm is high, and it's been a really good day, and we look forward to the ceremony at the Spring Grove right now.
Yeah,
so thank you very much.
It is special, and as we mentioned, that will be put on this tape for DAF Media, and then rebroadcast on TV 79 locally also. So one year we'll pull it together where we can produce them live, but we just don't have the technical expertise just quite yet to do that. So Terry, thanks for stopping by.
Great.
I think we're about to wrap things up here at the parade.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you again, Terry. So, Damien, I think this is going to wrap up another year. This is, I think, our 4th year of doing this, the 3rd parade out of those 4 years.
Yep.
It was a pleasure. Thanks again for asking me. Thanks to Bruce Ferguson for also pulling this together, and all your DAF media students that are been so generous with their time in getting this set up and filmed.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to those students, John. Our DAF Media production crew for this morning's Darien Memorial Day Parade broadcast. Graphics, Braden Schenk and Teddy Callery. Our director was Thomas Kiernan, and our camera operator, our main camera operator, was Charlotte Marr. And John, I want to thank you again for being involved in this. I know you enjoy it. That's
Absolutely.
why I ask you. And it's always maybe fun's not the right word, but I mean, it is an enjoyable time. And like you said, it was a great day today. A lot of people lined along Post Road to watch the parade. And as you mentioned, the ceremony that's taking place pretty soon at Spring Grove Cemetery following the parade, and that will be broadcast on TV 79, and we will have it on our YouTube channel as well.
Yeah, Terry Gaffney's described this day as a bit of a throwback, if you will. You know, and it really meant a lot this year. I think more than ever, see so many people come out.
I think we needed it. Right?
Absolutely.
I think we needed it. I think it was great to see people have, in some ways, been in a deep slumber for the better part of the last year and change, and it's nice to see. I know you and your wife have seen people that you haven't seen in a while, saying hello to them along the parade route here, and it's great. It's great to have everybody involved in this. Again, our DAF Media production crew: Teddy Callery, Braden Schenk, Thomas Kiernan, Charlotte Marr. For John Cini, I am Damian Andrew. This has been a presentation of the DAF Media Network, a joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation. And once again, you've been watching the Darien Memorial Day Parade for 2021 live on DAF Media. Thanks again, everybody, for watching, and have a great rest of your Memorial Day weekend.